Are you interested in intellectual property? Whether you're a possible client or somebody who wants to get into the field, stay tuned for today's video from a legal intellectual property intern. Legally Naya. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's vlog. There's so many new things that have been going on and happening in my life ever since I walked that stage at graduation. And guess what? Since I was a part-time student, I still have to take classes this summer. I know. I actually just finished all of my 2 summer classes and I only have my internship left. And guess what? I am currently working at an intellectual property firm. If you know that it has been my dream to be both an IP, an intellectual property, and an entertainment law attorney, because I want to be the one securing your brand and your creative ideas, such as music, literary works, books, dances, anything, through copyright and trademark law, as well as being the one negotiating your deals through entertainment. So keep that in mind for the future. But anyways, let me tell you guys everything I've been learning at the firm I am currently working with. And I just want to take the time to say thank you for this opportunity. So far, I have done trademark searches, copyright research, I have been on a client meeting, and I have also done international searches for trademarks, which means that I looked beyond the US and I used WIPO and the European trademark system. So just know if you want to have a trademark, you can try to assert broader rights internationally, but most people just file in the US. But when it's time to do the trademark analysis, you need to look at your research and determine whether or not a client's application will be rejected or approved. The important purpose to have an attorney is because sometimes the US Patent and Trademark Office will reject your claim, and sometimes you have to argue and show them and distinguish why your brand is unique and why there's no other brand out there that is yours. So it is important to go to an attorney. In the US, an attorney is the only person who can file for you outside of yourself. So you really do need a trademark attorney and somebody who understands trademark applications and who will fight for you. And that will be me in the future. But yeah, trademark analysis is really interesting because you have to look at things like the likelihood of confusion and many other aspects of trademark law. So let me tell you guys what a trademark is really quickly. A trademark is basically a logo, a word, a design, or a combination of anything that you see. For example, like Wendy's or Nike's logo, just things like that. And basically it prohibits anybody from having the same name or logo as you in the same industry that you want to pursue. So for example, if I want to be called Purple Shirts Company and I want to sell shoes, nobody else can be Purple Shirts Company and can sell shoes. So that is very important for business owners because you're basically marking your territory in the industry that you are pursuing. So yeah, if you want to do fashion, you want to make sure nobody has your fashion brand name. If you want to start a school, you want to make sure nobody has your school name. If you want to start a shoe company, you want to make sure nobody has your brand name. And you also want to make sure that you have rights by filing and making sure that no one else can just infringe and take your work and steal your name without you having a solid legal claim. And registering and filing is how you get stronger rights through the law. And it's the same with copyright law. By registering, you will have stronger rights against infringers. I find that to be very fun and interesting because I feel like at some point everybody has a business, and when you really have a business, you understand how much you pour into it and the need to protect it. And that's also why I like copyright law, because copyright law protects your expression through tangible mediums like photographs, your script, and the way you choose to describe your copyrightable recipes. Most things can be legally enforced as long as you have the proper attorney and the right angle. But let's continue about what I've done so far. I have literally wrote 2 blog posts. I am a published author, you guys, and it was about how to copyright a recipe and things that make it copyrightable. I also wrote a blog about Lady Gaga being sued by a brand called Laws International over the word mayhem. Mayhem was a registered trademark, and Lady Gaga used it for her fan merchandise, apparel, and even album cover. So a lot of legal battles going on right now, and that just shows you how important it is to trademark your stuff, because regardless of if she wins or loses, or if the brand wins or loses, it's just so interesting to know that by trademarking and then registering a trademark, you are entitled to certain rights. So let's see what the court decides. Let's see if this creates confusion or if they will feel like it's 2 different industries. But I specifically want to be a trademark, copyright, and entertainment attorney. But we're getting there, you guys. After this, in August, I'll officially be a lawyer in name, but I'm going to be studying for the bar so that I can get that attorney title. So outside of me writing blog posts, doing trademark searches internationally and nationwide, I am also helping attorney Randy with one of her presentations, and she's choosing to do it on cybersecurity and data. I've already done a lot of research on this, but now I'm going to put it in layman's terms so that she can tell it to an audience. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing right now. I have written client letters for copyright, and I have done trademark analysis client letters, and I also will be meeting with one of my future clients that I've worked on their case from start to finish. So excited to file the copyright, and I am officially starting trademark applications, which is a little bit more complicated, but it is very fun to learn. Trademarks get very detailed, very niche, so I think that's why it is important to go to an attorney, just so that you can make sure you're legally protected. Because how I see it is, it just takes one time in the beginning to put all your money aside and to financially invest, and then after that, you have your legal claims. So I would invest right the first time. That way, if somebody does infringe, a lawyer made sure that everything you needed was protected. Tomorrow we'll be doing trademark searches, and we'll be going over the searches I found, and me and Pranita, which is a trademark IP specialist, we're going to make sure that I have the right categories, and we're going to get ready to file this trademark application soon. So I cannot wait. And yeah, so right now I'm going to continue doing my trademark application. I found some classes, I've answered some questions, and I'm also going to be putting the specimens together. Specimens is proof of a person using their trademark name if their trademark is already in use for the categories that they want to protect. And there's many things you can protect under a trademark. It can literally be clothes, it could be jewelry, it could be services, it could be so many things. So yeah, we're going to look at this client stuff, and within the categories there's subcategories. So yeah, and we're going to make sure we have the subcategories laid out, and I'm about to look up all the specimens and make sure that there's claims to prove to the USPTO office that our client can file this trademark. So let's go do that, you guys. And then tomorrow I'm going to show you guys me and my meeting with Pranita, a week in the life of an intellectual property legal intern and a soon-to-be intellectual property attorney.
Like damn, she in her move. 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 She lit, get money too. Like damn, she in her move. In the mirror.
Hello everybody! Soon I will be having my meeting with Pranita. I am excited to see where today goes. I don't know if we will be filing this application. All I do know is we're in the process of getting everything together and having the documents. So I'm excited to see where we get to today. And yeah, I'm thankful for Pranita for teaching me a lot about trademarks, because this is what I really want to do. And see you guys when it's time to learn. Hello everybody, it is officially June 25th, and after that meeting that day with Pranita, I went back and had a lot more things to do for getting ready for the trademark application, and today we are filing! So I realized that this is really giving day in the life of a trademark attorney, and it really is. So far what I've learned is you do trademark searches. Well, before that, you kind of get an idea of what your client wants to protect. Then you do a trademark search for it. Then after your trademark searches, you have to do a client analysis letter and tell them if it is likely or the percentage of their approval, and explain all the elements that go into a trademark analysis, like descriptiveness, genericness of a brand name, likelihood of consumer confusion, and other aspects that you have to break into layman's terms and personally analyze each person's brand. Then get your client's approval to move forward to the next thing. After that, you do the overall classes that you find, and you have to go into the subcategories and find all the subcategories that match what your client wants of the overall category. Then you have to produce documents of those subcategories or just categories overall. Then you start the trademark application. Then you stay in contact with the USPTO after to fight it, to make sure that everything goes through and to protect your client. So just going from step to step to step to step is a lot. And honestly, guys, like, it's very niche. I keep saying this, it's very niche. Like every client clearly is gonna have different goals, different wants. You might be filing a trademark for a client who wants to protect their lumber business, and then you would have to learn about just some general idea about what goes into that to protect it and make sure you're covering all their bases. Then you might have a client who does something completely opposite with something you've never heard of or done before, and they have to figure out how to protect that. So it's a lot of learning based on what your client does, what your client wants to protect. And I just find it to be really, really cool because there's so many categories, and I feel like every client will be a learning experience until you go through every category. I'm glad that I was able to learn how to do trademark searches. I'm glad that I now know what you need to collect from a client to start and prepare your trademark application. And now today I'm excited to actually see the trademark application, get through it, and learn. So I have officially went through beginning to end after today, and that makes me really happy. So you guys kind of learned what a trademark attorney does. And this is just one client, but imagine having 20 clients at once. Imagine having 30, 15, and having to make sure you're protecting each business specifically, because this is somebody's business at the end of the day. But it also makes me really excited to know that this is what I want to do in the future, because I really like it, I really love it, and I have a passion for it. I love branding, I love it so much. I really think that this is honestly going to be one of my main things that I pursue, which will be trademark law, and then copyright. I will always be willing to do copyright, and that's why I can't wait to also explore entertainment. But stay tuned for the meeting with me and Pranita, and then afterwards you guys will get all the tea. Hello everybody, I am back, and guess what? I've officially finished my trademark application, and now we're just waiting for attorney Randy to come back from her trip so she can review it, and we are going to submit it to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So I have officially done the process of searching for a brand's name and making sure there's nothing out there, and also doing the application. Under common law, I realize that sometimes there's a lot of closed things that pop up, so it's very important that you're thorough in trademark searches, because you want to make sure you find any possibility that can reduce the chances of somebody's trademark being filed. And it really is an extensive and intensive search. Trademark attorneys are really specialized at doing that because they do this every single day. They know how to search the crevices of the internet to find everything. In addition, the trademark application, I realized that to be a trademark attorney, you have to really understand what your client wants. Sometimes you have to get creative, and you have to figure out what services, what goods, what category your client can get the most and ultimate protection is. So you really have to know how to capture everything, and that takes a skilled eye and somebody who really knows what they're doing. So I'm so glad I got to have that experience. The craziest part is that this is just the beginning, and after, for about 7 months to a year, you have to go back and forth with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and ensure that your client's trademark gets passed. So really, everything you see, guys, this is really in all step one. But I just wanted to give you a taste and a glimpse, but it is not everything. Next, I'm going to make some social media reels, because I'm not just their intellectual property legal intern, but I'm also a social media brand ambassador, basically. So I make some of the reels for them. And then after that, we're going to do more research and finish Attorney Randy's PowerPoint on data, cybersecurity, and the impact of AI. And it is really important to have safeguards and data protection with AI. So really excited to finish that PowerPoint. She comes back in 2 days, and hopefully I finish everything and you guys get to see what I had to do for this week. So let's keep the momentum going. So happy I did a trademark application, and so happy that I was able to get that experience. Day in the life of an intellectual property, future entertainment law attorney, the one and only Legally Naya Chung. Come to me in the future.
Period.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus?
Content creator. Hello everybody, so I finished making all my videos for today and for the rest of the year, and it feels so good to be done with that. I like to make all my content at once. I'll do like 10 videos at once to be done. because I like to be efficient. But I'm so happy that I got to have this experience of doing both social media and being a law student. It taught me a lot, and in the future I plan on marketing firms, people, businesses through my YouTube and offering services of being brand ambassador for people. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. Next, and my only last thing I have to do for this week is my PowerPoint presentation to help attorney Randy, and then I will be done with every assignment I was supposed to do. And yeah. Hi guys, it's me, and I'm back like 40 minutes later. And no, I have not done fixing the PowerPoint yet. If a U.S. patent with a prior provisional application filed prior to the non-provisional filing date, is the expiration date of the non-provisional patent 20 years from the non-provisional filing date, or expires 20 years from the provisional filing date?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And you're probably like, what does that mean? Honestly, I don't know either. Because patent law is like, whoa. But honestly, the more I research, I realized that a lot of patent answers are directly on the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office website. Like, they answer so many questions pertaining to any issue I've had, and I found it in like 10 minutes. And literally, the provisional patent is not like the typical patent application. And what I learned is that the patent's date and birth clock basically starts with the non-provisional patent, which is the standard patent, and not the provisional one because it's not acknowledged as that. And I found exactly where to find that at right here. And it literally says 2701 patent term under these sections shall not be taken into account in determining the term of a patent. And that's for provisional rights. So make sure you use all your resources when doing research, and that includes the nationally recognized websites too. And I'm gonna start my presentation soon. I'm just relaxing and watching one of my favorite YouTubers, as Leah Williams. I also love Alyssa Howard, but this is just a little relaxed break right now, you know? Hello all my beautiful supporters, hello beautiful people. I'm about to close out this video, so let me tell you where I am at. I'm currently gonna go work and finish my PowerPoint presentation, and I just want to give a little bit overview about how I feel. I am so excited and I'm so happy that I started dipping my toes and finally getting to work in the field I want to. If you have any passion for intellectual property, from my experience, I love it, and I know that I'll love entertainment law just as much. For anybody who's scared to start a legal internship, I say just do it. The only way you build your confidence is to actually step in the paint and go through the fire and drown in the water. And honestly, when you find that you rise above all, it will really give you more confidence the more you go. Something I learned as a legal intern at an intellectual property firm is that being a trademark attorney is basically looking at your clients the way a trademark examiner would, and going through their analysis and figuring out what would they think when they look at your client, and making sure that your client will be viewed in the best light for an examiner to get approved. And it's your job to do the thinking as a trademark examiner, something clients may not know or think about in the details of what you're supposed to do. For example, when I was doing the trademark application with Pernita, the IP specialist, and looking at all the documentation, we had to type in and specify how things were part of that class, and it all came down to wording and thinking from a legal perspective and thinking from the trademark examiner perspective and knowing what they are looking for. So it is very detailed. It's almost like writing a contract where every word matters, and that's something I really love about transactional law and intellectual property, is that every word has a meaning. You got to make sure that the words you choose directly and implicitly protect the brand you want to. Also, something I really like about this field is you are working with different people and different brands and different businesses every single day. You have a shoe person as your client, you can have clothes as your client, you can have a dental hygienist as your client, you can have a lawyer as your client, you can have an influencer as your client, you can have an athlete as your client, because anyone can start a business, anyone can want to protect their brand, and I love that. Somebody can want to open up their own medical clinic, their own hospital, their own lash business, and all that is branding. So like I said, you guys, come to me in the future. Other things I've been doing at this firm, I talked about my blog posts. Probably gonna do more blog posts. I also am supposed to be getting a brand portfolio and manage it and make sure I can stay on top of it, add everything that's missing and look at it, review it, make sure I upkeep it, and that's very exciting to me because I don't just want to be the ones filing and protecting and getting your stuff approved, but I want to make sure you're safe in the long haul after the trademark prosecution and the trademark application process and going back and forth for a year. I want to make sure that I have the records, I'm maintaining your business, and that your business is protected. So brand management and upkeep will be very fun. I'm just waiting on the paralegal to give me that. Other things I do is copyright. I'm about to do a copyright application soon, and I'm very excited to look into that. I have a client meeting in 2 days, and I'm gonna do that in my part 2. So if you really love this video, stay tuned for my next video. It's gonna be more about copyright. Hopefully I'll have a blog post and still doing legal research and anything that I need to do. It can range from copyright to trademark to patent law. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, and don't forget, come to me in the future. Legally Naya. Legally Naya. Bye everybody. Hopefully one of you are my future clients, or all of you are my future clients. I take the bar in a couple months, and then after that, fingers crossed. So it's only a matter of time.